Electoral Registration of Voters Amendment Bill 2023 be considered by Parliament without delay. That the bill must pass through one stage at a single sitting of Parliament. That the bill must not be referred to a standing committee or other committee of Parliament. And that the bill must be debated and voted upon by Parliament on Friday, 14th of July 2023, but that ample time be given to debate the bill after the vote on the 2023-2024 Appropriation Bills 23 and the consequential bills, with the right reply given to me as the member moving this motion.
Is there a seconder?
Honourable Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable Attorney General. Honourable members, the floor is now open for debate on the motion. I've now opened the floor for debate. Are you all right to reply now?
Yes.
Hold on.
Just focus.
Oh, you have to speak on the
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that. Come again? Honourable Usmati?
Mr. Speaker, sir.
I'm very confused now.
Essentially, this bill and the electoral bill are linked. And of course, the case of Nikona Waikula is well known. And this is to change what was provided for in the Registration of Voters Amendment Bill. As a result, these changes were made after the supervisory election lost the case. So they were a consultation, just like other related bills, including government agencies. And of course, key stakeholders were heard. Mr. Speaker, sir, the bill must be considered urgently to address the concerns raised by women who want their birth certificates to be changed to reflect their maiden names, as they had previously changed their birth certificates to reflect their spouse's surname for election purposes only. The longer we delay the bill, the longer individuals are being denied their right to vote as women who wish to vote under their maiden name and other official documents such as passports, driving license, and so forth. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. And now the floor is open for debate.
Honourable Speaker, sir, I rise to give my contribution to the bill. That's why I said in the last bill, the interpretation bill, for us to wait for that election report, because this was coming. And this has come after that interpretation bill. Now the Attorney General is moving this electoral registration of voters bill. We were part of the committee then that just reviewed this particular 3 electoral laws that was used in the 2022 election. That's the last parliament. And this was one of the amendments that was proposed by the former supervisor and the team then. If the current acting supervisor, Ms. Ana Matadia, wants to bring up these amendments, then they should come to the right procedure. And the right procedure is for her to first table the 2022 election report. And plus, if there is, from those findings and the multi-observer group findings, that there are things that needs to be improved for the 2026 election, the Honourable Attorney General, closer to the election, can move those amendments that should facilitate the election in 2026. And those amendments, they do come with also the request for the budget to hold those elections. And this is not the right time. This is too early. This is just trying to play some emotions with some voters and trying to politicize things. And Standing Orders 51 should not be used. We are talking about the budget this week. And the only big Honourable Attorney General that's entertaining this week is those consequential bills that affect the appropriation bill. This particular bill should go through the normal procedure under the standing orders, and please do respect the standing orders and Parliament. And the procedures laid out in there. I do not support the use of Standing Orders 51, as we should respect the Standing Committee that should do the necessary consultation on this electoral law that move around the country that do the consultation as part of their role as a parliament committee. And he's just talking about executive consultation. Executive consultation is totally different from a legislature consultation. Sometimes when you do a legislature consultation, when we ask the Solicitor General and the drafters, when they come down to the standing committees to give us the list of consultation they do, when we move around to check those centers that they conduct consultation, they don't come in numbers. And even the Solicitor General do not provide us the submissions that are provided during the executive consultation. And that's why we need to have this check and balance, the Parliament consultation, so we can move around to do a wider consultation and more people give their voice on how the law that should govern them in our election.
Thank you.
Honorable Deputy Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just to add to the earlier discussion, I mean, I agree with Honorable Bulitabu that we must try and adopt that process when these are substantial bills. The Speaker said this is just another example of what the previous administration tried to do in terms of bringing laws without any consultation at all. In fact, we have adopted a slightly different process in the sense that those laws that need quick amendments, such as this, the Honourable Attorney General's Office, after Cabinet, does the consult, and sometimes it's actually quite an appropriate thing to do, Mr. Speaker, for new laws, amendment to laws, to have the discussion first before you do the drafting. And we've seen how poorly drafted laws without any consultation, which through Order 51, have resulted in really bad consequences. So this is a pretty straightforward, and urgent as well. So we don't want to delay this until September, October. We just want to, that's why we're using Standing Order 51. So it's different from what they used to do. No consultation at all. Used to come, like nobody knew, and then Standing Order 51, and we had some very, very substantial, serious. And this bill was even this law was bad in the sense that when a government loses a case in the court, then they come and change the law to prove their point. And this is not just one example. There's several examples of what happened, Mr. Speaker. So I think this is, the opposition should accept that this is a pretty straightforward, change that was brought. It's a bad law. And let's debate it on Friday and do it.
Thank you. Honorable Koya.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I love the change of tunes. One day it's Jimi Hendrix, next day it's Santana. Honourable Speaker, sir, I actually am flabbergasted, to use the word, that they've cried out in the origins of this particular law, right at the beginning, why haven't we consulted, we haven't done this. As a matter of fact, a lot of consultation went on with respect to the electoral laws, and I think it was almost 8 months, if I remember correctly. Honorable Bulitabu actually sat, I'm talking about the electoral laws, and not a specific one. 8 months or so with respect to those with particular electoral laws. As we can see, Honourable Speaker, this particular bill and the issue within it has had quite a number of opinions on it across the board, whether it's good or for bad. So taking a lesson out of that particular book, you would say, okay, maybe we need to do that consultative exercise and let the committees deal with it, because there's quite a degree of independence when they actually do that, to find out. And most importantly, Honourable Speaker, and this is extremely important and such a critical component of it, is the report that needs to come out from the Elections Office, which was pointed out by Honourable Bulitabu. That is important, and that has a bearing on this particular. So, we're not saying anything with respect to what the content of the bill is at the moment. We're actually objecting to the fact that you're bringing this in. But, Honourable Speaker, Speaker. And this is the question that now everybody on this side of the House is thinking, what's the hurry? Are they anticipating having a failed budget? Are they anticipating having snap elections? Are they anticipating something that...
What's the hurry?
No, it's not about dreams. It's not about dreams. The harsh reality is this is politics, my friend. Remember, this is politics. Things change overnight. The point is, sir, that what is it that they're actually trying to preempt here? Is there some kind of fear factor? I'm not talking about the content of the bill. I'm not talking about the content of the bill. You will hear our opinion. You will hear our opinion on it when we debate the bill. The urgency right now. You're saying urgent because it's for women. What about everybody else?
What if it was for men?
What if it was for men? What about the point is that there is a large amount of diverse opinion on this, and it requires it to go before the committee. As a matter of fact, you're starving the committee of work, sir, which they really should need to do. They need to do, and we would do quite thoroughly, as you have seen, sir. So again, sir, it's something that we gravely object to with respect to how it's actually being dealt. We will argue the merits of what's in it at a later stage. But what is the fear? Why the urgency? No explanation proffered by the Honourable Attorney General. None to say that this is going to be detrimental to something tomorrow, so it needs to be done today. That's not being offered. And again, very hypocritical of all of them to stand up, oh, we're using it for 51 because it suits our purpose right now. That's exactly what they were saying to us that we shouldn't be doing. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. I now call on the Honourable Attorney General to speak in reply.
Mr. Speaker, the issue here is the other party, they have a fixed mindset.
You have a fixed mindset.
They can, after being articulated by Honorable Tabu as to the need, how can they understand? Because it's the women who work.
We are talking about 51.
That's why we are. It's the government for the people. It's the government for the people, elected by the people. In a scale of 1 to 10, when I weigh the objects, it's really 2 out of 10. The merits will discuss on Friday. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Honourable members, Parliament will now vote, and the question is, pursuant to Standing Orders 51, that A, that the Electoral Registration of Voters Amendment Bill 2023 be considered by Parliament without delay, and B, that the bill must pass through one stage at a single sitting of Parliament, and C, that the bill must not be referred to a standing committee or other committees of Parliament, and D, that the bill must be debated and voted upon by Parliament on Friday, the 14th of July 2023, but that ample time be given to debate the bill with the right of reply given to the Honourable Attorney General on the, as a member moving the motion. Does any member oppose the motion? Yes. There being opposition, the Parliament will now vote. Open the vote. Close the vote.
The results of the vote are as follows: 27 ayes, 21 noes, and 5 have not voted.
Since 27 ayes, with 21 noes, and 5 having not voted, the ayes have it, and therefore the motion is agreed to.